organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up today on this live Friday edition of Daily Iowan TV, Hawk Alert. Find out what UI students think about the alert system and learn how Iowa City is becoming more bike-friendly.
Iowa football hits the road again.
Coming up, find out why road games might be a good thing for this team.
All that and more coming up. Daily Iowan TV starts now. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to Daily Iowan TV. I'm Noah Gowdy. Today is Bike Downtown Day. To celebrate, Iowa City unveiled its new bike rack. The new bike rack is located at the corner of Washington and Dubuque Street. This is all in an effort to make Iowa City more bike friendly. The new bike rack can hold up to 40 bikes and will be up for about a month before the city stores it away for the winter. Sexual assault is one of the most underreported crimes. The University of Iowa's Speak Out survey reported 1 in 5 female students are victims of sexual assault. Daily Iowan TV reporter Ryan Scott reached out to the Rape Victim Advocacy Program and shares how students can report sexual assault.
The Rape Victim Advocacy Program, commonly referred to as RVAP, is a free service provided by the university that offers counseling to victims of sexual assault. Counselors, referred to as advocates, help students process their emotions and can also guide them through the reporting process.
There are a number of things that they can do, so there's no one right way to go about it.
In fact, the Rape Victim Advocacy Program at the University of Iowa suggests 4 ways a student can go about reporting a sexual assault. One way is through the hospital.
To report to medical staff would be to go to the ER and let them know what happened to you, and then a specially trained sexual assault nurse examiner would come and facilitate a forensic exam.
Through law enforcement, such as the Iowa City or University of Iowa police departments.
They can either have that investigator just listen to their story. The second option would be they would take down the report and then move forward with contacting the alleged perpetrator.
Through counselors at RVAP at their location on 332 South Lynn Street.
A survivor of sexual violence could tell me their story and I could give that report to law enforcement as well if they're uncomfortable with that.
And lastly, through the University of Iowa.
You can report to University of Iowa staff at the Office of Sexual Misconduct and let them know what happened.
The Office of Sexual Misconduct is located in Van Allen Hall on the corner of Dubuque and East Jefferson Street. Reporting from the Rape Victim Advocacy Program's office in Iowa City, Ryan Scott, Daily Iowan TV.
We Are Phil Week is wrapping up today, and Daily Iowan TV reporter Logan Dunwoody has the details on what this week meant to the university.
We Are Phil is the university's philanthropy program whose goal is to encourage current university patrons as well as alumni to donate to the university to aid in scholarships for students, rewards for deserving professors, and making cutting-edge technology available to everyone on campus. Today, We Are Phil is wrapping up its celebratory We Are Phil Week dedicated to those who have donated throughout the year. We Are Phil Week offers a countless number of events including food, tours of Kinnick Stadium, and live music. The events themselves are made possible by the efforts of thousands of people all across the country. I caught up with Professor John Garfinkel to hear what the program means to the university and everyone involved.
We are interested in people's interests across campus. It can be the Stead Children's Hospital, it can be Hampshire, it can be UI Athletics, it can be the Tippy College of Business, it can be any unit that you wish to support on campus. It's about putting your hand in the air and saying, we believe at the University of Iowa in what we are doing. I think also it communicates to the student body how important it is to connect with the university. It doesn't have to be a big monetary amount, but the simple act of giving and participating in the We Are Phil Week.
Well, the weather these last few days has been quite chilly, and I, for one, am not a fan of it. Let's send it over to our weather expert, Sam, who's standing by in the studio to give us the update.
Thanks, Noah. Today we can expect clear skies getting to a high of 68 degrees and lowering at night to about 56 degrees. Saturday, make sure you have a coat because there is a 50% chance of thunderstorms coming into a high of 74 and lowering to 65 degrees at night. And now for your 6-day forecast. Sunday, we again see a 50% chance of thunderstorms with a high of 78 degrees, lowering to about 63 degrees at night. Monday, it looks like partly cloudy skies with a high of 83 degrees and lowering at night to about 67 degrees. Tuesday, we can expect clear skies, cooling down to about 67 degrees as the high, and at night, we see the temperature lowering to about 49 degrees. And that's all for your weather this week. Back to you, Noah.
The University of Iowa Hawk Alert System is used to notify the campus community of safety threats in emergency situations. It allows UI administrators to send recorded or electronic emergency messages to students, faculty, and staff by phone and email. But do students find this alerting system useful? We sent our daily Iowan TV reporter Zhao Li to find out what students think about the UI Hawk Alert system.
Have you heard of Hawk Alert?
Yeah, I have. I have the text messages, the emails, and the phone calls set up for me.
I get the text and emails, I think.
Literally text, call, email, 3 ways.
I know it's kind of like emergency things. When something happens, like we have to know. So like we have to be secure.
So when was the last time you received a Hawk Alert?
I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago. It was like a tornado alert. That's what I can remember of.
I think it was the last week, like when some guy like hold a knife.
I think it was a week or a week and a half ago, maybe. I'm not sure.
What was it?
It was about a person walking around with a knife, I believe, downtown. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. Do you feel safer after receiving all those messages?
Yeah, I think it's better than nothing, yeah.
They're always useful, so it's not like spam. It's good information.
You never know when you'll be in trouble or when your friend or your relative might be in trouble.
It's kind of good to know what's going on. I feel like to lease would be worse, but because they send enough, I feel like it was nice because you found that or they alerted you and said that there was a person first of all with a knife and then that they were being followed or whatever and then that they found them. So I think that's nice to know, especially because I walk to work at night, so that's a good thing for me to know.
From all the people I've talked to, we can conclude that students do find Hawk Alert pretty useful. Reporting outside Main Library in Iowa City, Zhao Li, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Hawkeye football is on the road this weekend, and we are all counting down the days until we are back at Kinnick. Let's send it over to Katie and Taylor in the sports studio for this week's Hawkeye Pregame show.
Thanks, Noah. It's so weird because next time we're in Kinnick, I'm going to be a college student and I'm not going to be reporting. I'm actually going to enjoy the game from the stands, so I'm actually really excited.
I know. Well, that'll be me this weekend, not traveling with you guys to Purdue.
Yeah.
But
well, in week 7, as it is upon us, and with Iowa winning their 8th consecutive road game last weekend at Minnesota, 14-7, this record is the 3rd longest active streak in the nation.
that's right. And I tell you why the Hawks are so good on the road and how they're going to keep this streak alive.
To win on the road, you need a team that's got some maturity. They've got to understand what you're trying to get accomplished. And, stick to the routine. Don't get distracted. We're going to play a football game no different than if we were going over to Kinnick. And once the game gets going, you've got to be focused on that game, not the environment.
The Hawks haven't lost on the road since they played Minnesota in 2014. So whether it's the environment, their approach to away games, or a day off at the end of the week, whatever it is seems to be working.
Just really being focused is what it comes down to. Not letting that different environment get to you. We love playing in Kinnick, but it's a different challenge. So just, being mature as a team.
Getting mentally focused and ready for the game. That's one thing we don't want to get overwhelmed by the environment where we go or anything like that. Just staying focused and being ready. Just keeping a clear mind and being ready for the game.
And even though road games pose a different kind of challenge, the Hawks don't seem to let it scare them.
Not listen to the noise. When you're on the road, it's your team against, however many thousand they have in their stadium. And, a lot of guys embrace that on the team. I know I embrace playing on the road. It gives you, something to look forward to when it's your guys, your brothers, against everyone else. And they're loud, they're dog cussing you and all that kind of stuff, and it kind of fuels you a little bit, but you can't really practice it. You just have to be ready and focused, the night before in the hotel, which we've done a good job at.
I think it's pretty fun, especially when you go into a hostile environment and, the fans are, it's just the 70 guys that, that came on the trip versus, however many people they have in the stands. I think it's just it's a fun environment to be in. It really makes you want to step up your game, bring it because you know that they're going to bring it. Their fans are going to be energized and everything. So, going on the road, I think is a good time.
Now heading to Purdue this weekend will be a lot different for the Hawks.
Yeah.
It's a different environment, not as many fans. They won't be as into the game. It's a real grass turf, so that'll be different.
Oh, definitely. And I heard there's a sinkhole in one of the end zones. So hopefully I don't fall in it and die this weekend when I'm running around. It'll be fine though.
Well, we saw CJ Beathard get his first career start at Purdue 2 years ago. And this year, hopefully there will be some type of first for another Iowa player.
Desmond King is dying to get a kick or punt return. We've seen him get close. We've seen him jump over piles, slip on the ground, anything. But we haven't seen him actually get into the end zone yet.
Now, on kick returns, he has a total of 343 yards. His best coming from the first game of the season against Miami when he returned the ball for 48 yards. And as for punt returns, he totals 173.
And we found out he doesn't really like to fair catch the ball either.
My intentions is not to, but if I have to, then yeah. But my first instinct is just, get the return and get what I can. I think it's coming close. I get, it get closer and closer each week. So, just patiently waiting and just, giving it my all each game. Just getting the offense in good field position, is my main goal. And, and it's all starts up front with the blockers on the return game as well. They do a phenomenal job at that, and this week is going to be real critical with that. We have chances and opportunities in the return game, and we're going to try to do what we can.
Since he hasn't gotten an interception yet this year, hopefully he can break through and get one of those returns.
I agree. Now, Purdue is looking for their first win over the Hawkeyes since 2012.
Last year's contest was actually one of the coldest games I've ever been to. It's supposed to be sunny and 75, though, in West Lafayette this weekend, so I'm excited. And Iowa was number 5 in the nation last season, in the country, actually, and beat the Boilermakers 40-20. Purdue is looking for their first back-to-back win since 2012 after coming off an overtime victory against Illinois last weekend. A game where they showed nothing but toughness.
They come in to the game with a 3-2 record right now, 1-1 in the Big Ten, very similar to our record, and come off a really impressive road win in overtime. Showed a lot of character in that ball game, winning the thing in overtime, and a lot of really close calls during the course of the game. They stayed the course and then got the job done.
This group was young last year, but beginning the 2016 campaign, they returned 10 starters on the offense and 9 on the defense. This includes quarterback David Plow, who is 4-9 as Purdue's starting QB, completing 287 passes for 2,872 yards.
Their quarterback's really good. They also got some, linemen and some wide receivers. So, I mean, they're just like, they're another Big Ten team. They're good, and we can't overlook them in any way.
I mean, we always want to get a pressure on the quarterback and make it uncomfortable and help the secondary, and the secondary is trying to cover and give us time. So it's just we got to work together on that.
Their running back situation was iffy at the beginning of the season as DJ Knox went down with an injury and Markel Jones stepped up. But he was injured and sidelined before the Illini game, so Brian Langford Johnson, who is actually a true freshman, stepped up and rushed for 127 yards.
They have some playmakers, some good wideouts. Their QB can move around. I think they've had a couple backs that have been injured, but I think they'll get a couple of those guys back this week, and they're good players, physical, hard runners, so we're going to have to be prepared and ready to go.
The defense returns defensive tackle Jake Rapolgel, who accounted for 5 tackles, 2 of them sacks, and a blocked kick in last year's contest against Iowa.
Now, Iowa has a little bit of an issue overlooking teams like this and previously in the season. Hopefully they can go to West Lafayette and get the job done. Noah, back to you.
Well, that's all we have for you today on Daily Iowan TV. Have a great weekend, Iowa City.